to me one summer night.
People that have, or the only group of Israel that has 100% truth. Y'all hate that, and y'all can't even say that because we'll come back and say, well, you got that slogan from us. Yeah. All right? That logo from us. We're the ones that have 100% truth of the scriptures.
Mr. Moonlight.
Why does the moon change shape? We all know that the moon is a sphere, so why doesn't it appear spherical all the time? Before looking at the answer to this, we need to consider how the moon, the sun, and the earth are connected. The moon rotates around the earth. The moon takes approximately 27.3 days to complete one orbit of the earth. The earth rotates around the sun. The earth takes approximately 365.24 days to complete one orbit of the sun. As the moon orbits the earth in this way, only one half of its surface is always illuminated by the sun. And generally, it's only this illuminated half of the moon that's visible to us. The proportion of the illuminated half of the moon visible to us varies from 100%, the full moon, to 0%, the new moon. The appearance of the moon is categorized into 8 phases called lunar phases. These phases are determined by the relative positions of the moon, the earth, and the sun. Phase 1 is called the new moon. In this phase, none of the illuminated half of the moon is visible to us on earth. Phase 2 is called the waxing crescent moon. Phase 3 is called the first quarter moon. Phase 4, the waxing gibbous moon. Phase 5 is called the full moon. At this point, 100% of the illuminated half of the moon is visible to us. Phase 6 is called the waning gibbous moon. Phase 7, the last quarter moon. Phase 8, the final phase, is called the waning crescent moon. This is the last phase before the next new moon. And that is why the moon changes shape.
Mr. Moonlight.
You have to deal with the lunar calendar. All right? According to the so-called white man, the beginning of the year is January, which is in the goddamn dead of the winter. Now when we keep the Passover is at the beginning of the springtime. The Passover is at the beginning of the springtime. The Passover is at the beginning of the springtime. So, going according to what they're telling you, how the hell are you going to keep the Passover in January? And that's when it's the dead of winter, when it's frigid as hell. That's when the temperature's dropping to -5, -1, dropping to 10 degrees, 5 degrees, 6 degrees. The Passover is not kept in the wintertime. Passover is kept in the spring. That's why when you read this.
Sunlight falling on different places during different seasons. This causes variations in the duration of days, nights, and seasons. Relationship between the location of the overhead sun and the seasons. Similarly, the revolution of the Earth and the tilting of the axis results in different angle of the sun during different periods. When the sun is directly overhead, we call this the overhead sun. At this time, the Earth's surface and the midday sun forms a 90-degree angle. Different locations of the overhead sun results in variations in the amount of solar radiation received in different areas and at different periods. Spring equinox. On the 21st or 22nd of March. The overhead sun is over the equator. The equator receives the largest amount of solar radiation. At this time, the northern hemisphere is in the spring equinox, while the southern hemisphere is in the autumn equinox. The angle of the sun decreases towards the poles. On this day, the two hemispheres receive a similar amount of solar radiation, and the length of day and night is the same at all places on the Earth. After this day, it is spring in the northern hemisphere, where the day is longer than the night. In the southern hemisphere, it becomes autumn, when the day is shorter than